Peace everyone, Unmasked here, and welcome to day 11 of Inktober. Oh man, we're getting through it. We're getting through it. Hopefully everyone is hanging on. I am hanging on a little bit. First off, let me start by sharing all of your work that you sent me for yesterday's prompt. Yesterday's prompt was flowing, and a lot of you had some really cool, unique ideas. So I appreciate you sharing those in the Facebook group. Oh man, I'm feeling a little under the weather today. I feel like I'm maybe getting a cold. So today is probably not going to be a real long stream or anything like that, but I'm here. I'm pushing through just for you guys. So hopefully you appreciate that. Let me quickly say hello to everybody in the chat. Hello, Richmond. Kilua, Ian, Leonie, Interstanding, Danny, Mindy, Zenab, Tree Frog, Lily, Katajina, Ankush, Abigail, and Debbie. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming to the live stream. I appreciate it. You guys are great. You keep me motivated. The pressure is on though. Yeah, I'm going to try to finish up today's stream within an hour at least. Yeah, and then I'm probably just going to lay in bed and try to feel better for tomorrow's stream. I don't even know what tomorrow's prompt is. What is tomorrow's prompt? I want to know. Whale. Oh, okay, that should be a relatively easy one. It's it's not as ambiguous as today's prompt, which is cruel. I think it's just cruel to make a prompt cruel because it's so ambiguous, and it's like, how do I express that? And a few of you, or at least I've seen a few drawings, and it appears as though we've had a very similar thought process with cruel today. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the Disney movie 101 Dalmatians, but the character Cruella de Vil, super creepy lady, that's what I decided to go with today. It just seemed so fitting because her name is literally Cruel Devil. So that's what I decided to go with today, and I have it sketched out, and I don't know if you can see it very clearly, but I have Cruella holding Nugget, and I scaled Nugget up a little bit just to fit a bit better, and I'm pretty pleased at the way that it came out because Nugget is just seriously the best. Anyways, I'm gonna get started on inking. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. I'm going to get started on inking and try to get this done in a relatively quick manner without rushing too much. And you guys can tell me about your day. You can, ask me questions, whatever you want. I don't have a whole lot going on. I made pierogi for dinner, and I look forward to eating more of them once I finish streaming. My wife and I are working through the entire House series. I think we're in season 4 now, so we're getting through it, and that's the plan. Delicious pierogi and House episodes. Hello, Jacqueline, Stacy, and Kathleen. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else. Sneaks, hello. I started the stream a little bit early. You guys honestly should just be used to it by now. Like I said, I'm not feeling the greatest, so I figured, maybe I'll just try to get the stream done and rest up for tomorrow because, yeah. Hopefully I'll be at 100% tomorrow. Today I'm just a bit tired. The weather was nice, so it's not, I can't really blame it on the weather why I'm not feeling all that well, but hopefully I'll be at 100% tomorrow. So I'm at a loss for today. I'm having trouble finding a way to express cruel without feeling bad. Yeah, that's kind of what that's kind of what I was struggling with too. I did a Patreon stream today as well, which I was really tired for, and hopefully my patrons still appreciated the stream because I was half asleep. I was feeling pretty bad then too. That was just earlier in my afternoon, so it wasn't that long ago. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for today's prompt, because essentially I set up for the Patreon stream in the morning, which is usually when I'm working on my Inktober prompt idea. And instead I was working on the Patreon project, preparing for that. And the entire time I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do for today's, or this evening's live stream for Inktober? I couldn't think of anything, and I was like, cruel. And I just walked around my house for like all day, saying the word cruel in my mind over and over again, thinking, what could I possibly do for it? And when I'm stuck, what I usually do is I'll just Google the word, because maybe there's a picture or something that sparks an idea, and nothing showed up in the search results. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then eventually, I saw some ideas that I liked. I saw a couple drawings of like the witch from Sleeping Beauty, and my sister, she drew, what did she draw? She drew what, I don't know that witch's name, Maleficent or something like that. I don't know. I can't pronounce the name. It starts with an M. And that got me on the idea of like evil Disney characters. And as soon as in my mind I thought evil Disney characters, I was like, Cruella de Vil. I was like, that's just perfect. And so that's what I went with, obviously. And instead of hunting down Dalmatian puppies, she's trying to make a purse. She's trying to make a purse out of Nugget. Nugget, of course, is not amused, as you'll see with his facial expression. But he's not worried either. Nugget's a superhero. He's not afraid of some old hag like Cruella. I found the cruelest thing in the world, and then the most beautiful thing, an orphan boy who got loving family. Yeah, that's not the most inspiring for the prompt today. When come across something so wonderful. Yeah, it's hard to think like negatively for the prompt. I think that's what I had what I had a problem with today. Is cruel is just so negative, and I was like, what could I do for that? I have no idea, and I was feeling pretty lost. Too bad I'm not participating in Inktober this year. So much work, but I guess I'll do some being mercilessly being tickled. It's a bit cruel, but is fun. Well, even if you're not participating like in the official prompts or anything, if you were working on something and you wanted to, if you wanted me to share it on the stream, you can always post it on the link. You know, whatever you create, perhaps you just inspired by one prompt. If you just do one drawing, that's fine too. I tried the Google thing and that was pretty horrific. Maleficent, yeah, that's the one that my sister drew. I think I'll end up popping balloons with pens and call it good. Yeah, you could do that. You could, oh, you know, that actually gave me a really good idea. I wish I kind of would have thought of it. Draw Nugget. You could draw Nugget being like lifted up by balloons, and then you could have like a hand coming in popping a balloon. So the idea is that he's floating about, minding his own business with his makeshift hot air balloon made of balloons, and then you just got somebody popping them. Maybe he's floating up next to a building, and then you have the evil chicken. You have the evil chicken pecking his balloons to make him fall. I am going to color this with markers, by the way. The inking part is going to be very easy. So I decided I'll color it. And I just realized that I forgot to grab markers for Nugget's colors, because I grabbed all the markers that I'm going to use to color Cruella, but I forgot Nugget. So that was a little bit of a mistake there. Watched a couple previous Inktobers. Yes, cut your dreads, and yes to more live streams. Great way to learn more about the mediums used. Oh, hello Nunez. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like my videos. You guys will have to let me know what you think about this time frame for my live stream. So we had a bit of a conversation yesterday regarding the amount of live streams I should think of doing after Inktober is over, because obviously I can't keep up the daily live streams. That would just be too much. I don't know if I would be able to do that. But I was saying that I'm most likely going to bump it up to 3 live streams a week as opposed to just the 2, and the 1 being on YouTube and then the 1 being on Patreon. So there would be 2 on YouTube and then 1 on Patreon still. And another thing that I didn't really mention was whether or not the time frame, like what would be the best time frame, And I know that, you know, it's gonna be really different for everybody. But I noticed that the amount of people that show up to the stream, I don't know if they are conditioned to show up at that time at this point, since I've been doing it for a couple years, or it's just easier for a majority of my subscribers. But generally my afternoon streams tend to have the most viewers at that time, as opposed to these evening streams that I very occasionally do. The morning streams I feel like are just a complete waste of time. Unfortunately, a lot of my viewers are asleep, so I don't think the morning streams make much sense for me. But the evening streams, I'm actually just not too sure of. Have I ever tried watercolors for Inktober? I have not tried watercolors. I may try next year. For this year, I just used the acrylic inks, which they are essentially, they act so much like watercolors when you add water to them. They do dry a little bit different, and they have, you know, slightly different property when after the fact, after they dry. But no, I haven't explicitly used watercolors, but I probably will incorporate them next year. I do really like them. I want to use them more. I'll probably do some live streams where I'm using the watercolors that I used previously and try to just get better at them. I want to get better at watercolors. Try some different techniques with them. I really like doing coloring anime with watercolors, because it just looks really cool with inked lines. And then a little bit of mixed media with the addition of colored pencils. It just seems to be a really good mixture. See, Nugget is not very amused here. Oh, Ellie, you're actually not that late. I didn't start too long ago, but glad you're able to make it. Hello, I'm new here. I'm new to drawing. At this time, I don't know how to draw. Well, hopefully you'll pick up some things from my channel, and we'll go from there. It's, you know, better to start now than never. So, no worries. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. I'm happy to answer. Where am I at? It's almost 1 p.m. where you're at. So I am in Poland, Debbie. So you are, if it's 1 p.m., you're East Coast time, you're Eastern Standard Time if you're in the United States, or possibly Mountain Time? Wait, I'm trying to think. I can't think right now. I don't feel well enough to think that much. You're probably somewhere around there. My India ink is not waterproof. Suggestions on good brand. Yeah, the Dr. P.H. Martins that Debbie mentioned, that I'm pretty sure that is waterproof. Yeah, it's really important to make sure that your ink, when it dries, it doesn't get like messed up by watercolors or markers or something like that. Pretty important. All right, I'm going to erase my graphite lines. Greetings from America. Well, thank you, Debbie. I get a lot of greetings from America. And thank you, Stacy, for that that Patreon plug. It's always a good sign when my own patrons plug my own Patreon page without me even asking. Yeah, maybe I'll just try to switch up the times for the streams every now and again after after Inktober is complete. I usually do my live streams in my mid-afternoon. That way I can get finished with them before my wife gets home. Because I hate cleaning in the morning. So I usually leave myself like 15 minutes to clean before she gets home so I can pretend that I was productive. But she's on to me. She knows I'm not productive anymore. I gotta get back into that habit. I used to be really good at it. I used to just literally the very first thing I'd do is just start cleaning first thing in the morning, and then I'd be done. I'd be done, and then I could just goof off for the rest of my day. And then make up a story about how productive I was. I'm going to do a little bit of fine-tuning with my lines here. It's not really the style of Disney to clean up, to have like the smoother lines, but I like to do that with my inkings, and I think it just looks better in general. So I'm going to do a bit of cleaning up here to make this just look neater. Because right now it's pretty mediocre. It's a bit rough. I feel like my lines are a bit rough. I've never been able to really draw the style of like the Disney stuff. I never draw stuff that looks like this, so for me it feels really awkward to try to come up with stuff like this, because when I think of like characters, and I mean if I were to try to draw a person that looked evil and had really sharp cheekbones and like a very large underbite and just super weird skinny proportions, and I don't think I'd be able to come up with something like that and it look right. I've never been able to kind of create those kind of characters that just their body and their proportions just match their personality, because she just has like an evil vibe to her. Even if she was like the nicest character in the world, she's smiling right now. She looks like she should be happy, but because of just how crazy she is, or how crazy everything about her looks. She just comes off as evil, even if you had no idea who she is. And I've never really been able to do that. That's a really difficult thing to do, in my opinion. Alright. I'm gonna do one more bold line around. Let's go. I can never keep track of my pens. They're always all over the place. So I'm going to use a bold line to just do an outline, and I think that will polish it off a little bit. Just make it stand off the paper a bit more. If you're doing an inking of a character, it almost doesn't even matter what it is. It doesn't even have to be a character. It could just be an object. But if you feel like it feels a little thin on the paper, like there's not a whole lot to it, and it's just not bold enough, I would recommend tracing the outline, just the outer edge that you see me doing here, and see if you don't like it more immediately afterwards. Sometimes when you have like boring lines, the lines here are very simple, very plain, and extra boring. And even though I'm going to be coloring it, if you don't have the intention, or you're just not able to color your inked lines in your character, your subject, or anything like that, if you just outline the subject with nice bold line, then you'll find that it sits on the paper a bit better, and you'll probably end up liking the drawing a lot more, because it can make relatively simplistic drawings look just a little bit better. I had this friend in high school that he was a year older than me, and he drew amazing. When he was in high school, he drew really, really good. So I imagine that if he still kept with it, I don't know what he does now. I haven't spoke to him since I changed schools like a million years ago. But I learned a whole bunch from him when I started drawing people, because that's all he drew. He just drew people. And he helped me establish kind of a style for faces, because I could never draw faces. But he just had so many drawings. He was always drawing. I was so jealous of how good he was. And I noticed that on a few of his sketches and his sketchbook and stuff, he would just take a Sharpie, so that thick of a line, the thickness of a Sharpie, quite a bit thicker than the pen that I'm using now, probably about twice as thick actually. And he would have these pencil sketches. He would just do a sketch in pencil, a good sketch, you know, clearly defined lines and all of that, maybe even a touch of crosshatch shading, and then he would just outline his sketch with Sharpie, and it looked really nice. It was a simple touch. It was a simple touch. All it did was add some weight to the outer outline of his sketch, and it really cemented it onto the paper, and it made it just it made it almost look like a complete drawing, even though it was just a sketch. It was just a sketch with a Sharpie outline. So you can probably see here that even though the lines are simple, that nice bold outline gave it, you know, it kind of cemented it into the paper. Oh goodness, look at this. Beatty, you have to tell me how to say your name. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. Back again. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I'm glad you didn't forget about today's stream. Got an hour before you have to go to work. Well, I might be finished with today's stream by that time, so hopefully you won't miss anything. But thanks again for the super chat donation. Outlining advice made a huge difference in my Moravian star. I think I was able to add more depth with it. Oh, well, that's awesome. I'm glad you utilized some of that technique that I discussed, and you saw an improvement in your drawing. Oh, hello, Misty from Kentucky. Ah, my sister is in Kentucky right now. You could be pretty close to her. I don't know how big Kentucky is. I don't think I've ever been to Kentucky. I'm excited that you were able to catch a live stream as well. Welcome. Thank you, thank you. Alright, I think it's safe to color now, and I'm going to start with Cruella's skin. Never used inks before, but I'm finding my way with them. Awesome. I'm gonna start with her skin. Is this the right color? Yeah, it's the right color. It just appeared much darker than I anticipated. I think I grabbed too dark of a color. This is a result of choosing my colors in poor lighting. This is another reason I tend not to do the live streams in the evening, because once the natural light stops coming through my windows and giving me like a much softer, just brighter light in general, it's really hard for me to accurately use my color charts that I have hanging on my wall. Even with my desk lights and my overhead light shining, it's tough. I almost can't have enough light on when I'm drawing. You always wondered what my tattoo meant. So my right tattoo does say salvation, and without getting into any religious debates, it was a tattoo that I got when I was 16 years old, and I often refer to it as a mistake. So that's what it says. It meant something to me at the time, but as you probably have gathered, I just regret it now as an adult. And then I have this tattoo here, and this one I got when I was 20, I think, maybe 19. I was in the military when I got the one on my left arm. And again, though I still like the design, I don't like what it says. It says Kami no Kotowa, which is Japanese for the sword of the spirit. Direct translation is actually thing of God or spirit. But yeah, I'm not religious anymore. I was when I was a child, but then I grew up. That's why I regret them. Where do I start to learn to draw? Well, when, you know, I never really learned a lot of drawing skills. What I continuously did was draw over and over again, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I still make a lot of mistakes. And I would say when it comes to creating, the best teacher is always going to be experience. And the only way that you're ever going to actually progress is if you keep doing it. So you just have to keep moving the pencil on the paper. No matter what you feel, no matter how discouraged you get. I know that a lot of people, a lot of artists struggle with comparing themselves to other artists. For instance, if you look at my work and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, I'm never going to be able to get that good. I'm never going to I'm never going to be able to create work like that. I would say that you're absolutely wrong. First off, that it is totally doable what I do. My artwork is nothing in comparison to many other wonderful artists, and it doesn't matter. That's what you have to get past. You have to get past comparing yourself to any other artist. I know it can be hard sometimes when you get frustrated with the things that you create, and you just can't create what you want and get it to look the way that you want it to. But the truth is, we're all on a very similar journey as artists, and it would just be best not to compare yourself. So if you want to get good at drawing, all you have to do is keep doing it, because I've been doing it since I was about 6 years old, so about 23 years, and I still feel like I'm way behind a lot of other people. So oh, you've designed a lot of tattoos. Yeah, I did a lot in the military. I was constantly being asked to design tattoos for people while I was in the military. There are some good fundamental books on drawing. There's obviously techniques and ideas and subjects that you can learn to break down into their basic elements. You know, when it comes to breaking objects down into positive and negative, like positive and negative spaces. There's just drawing techniques like the grid method, proportional drawing. I mean, there's a whole bunch of techniques, but there's a difference. I have to say that there's a difference between learning techniques and learning how to draw. Techniques don't teach you how to draw. Reading a book doesn't teach you how to draw. Reading a book and working through practices and things like that, that's techniques. And there's, you know, endless resources on learning techniques. But you cannot learn to draw from a book. They are teaching you techniques. I can't teach you how to draw. I can't teach you how to color. I can't teach you how to paint. I can't teach you how to use markers, pastels, inks. I can't teach you any of that. The only thing that I can teach you, and I try to do my best at, is to teach you techniques and to encourage you. Those are the things that are possible to teach. Techniques and encouragement. That's all I can offer. but doing, you have to do it. It's just like anything else. You can't learn to play basketball by reading a book and watching people play it. You have to do it. You have to dribble the ball. You have to shoot it into the basket. And no matter what book or video or anything you read or watch or get explained to you, nothing teaches you except experience. You can only learn techniques from a book, and they can be helpful. They can also be a big waste of time for some. I could never learn from a book. That's why I did so bad in school. But you just have to keep moving the pencil, because when it comes to like working with ink and pens and stuff, we kind of got into this discussion maybe last week or something, where people were commenting on the smoothness of my lines and like, how do I move the pen so smoothly? And it's the fact that I've been moving a pen for so long that I've worked the micro muscles in my hand enough to have control, the most subtle control ever. And that's experience. It's the only thing that I have, really. Oh, let's see here. I'm gonna color her hair. Yes, indeed. Practice will help you get closer to perfection. I wish practice did make perfect. I wish that it did, because I think I'd be closer to it if it actually were true. But practice does get you closer to perfection. That's about as good as I think we can all get. There's another thing that I guess I could kind of talk about. Earlier I was talking about, you shouldn't compare yourself to other artists, because it's generally unhealthy for your own development as an artist, because it can be very discouraging and demotivating if you're constantly telling yourself like, I'll never be able to draw like that, or whatever. It's fantastic to admire. That's healthy. To admire, yes, but to compare, no. Because I can pretty much guarantee you that whatever artist you're comparing yourself to, they have artists themselves they compare themselves to, and they think they'll never get there. Some of the artwork that I do, and people love it. It doesn't make sense to me, because I've drawn and painted and colored and all kinds of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff over the past 5 years on my channel, and some of the work that I've produced, I just find disgraceful. I can't stand it. And I feel like almost every time it's been like my least favorite work that I've made that people like the most, and I still don't get it. But in the end, it doesn't matter, because when I'm creating that, nothing matters other than it relaxes me. It's something I find enjoyable. There's just something peaceful about it, because I'm in control, and that's why I do it, because it's just an enjoyable way to spend my time. And if I happen to create something that I don't particularly care much about or like to look at, if somebody else looks at it and finds enjoyment out of it or enjoys looking at it, then that's great. That's just a bonus. So I don't really need to understand that. I just need to keep doing what I do and having fun. Oh, hello, Brenda. I am new to your channel, but I have to say I find your channel very fun to watch, and by watching you, I now want to try using pastels. I am usually an acrylic painter. Well, if you have not tried pastels yet, I can guarantee you will enjoy them. If you like painting with acrylic paint, imagine a medium that feels like painting with acrylic paint, except it's faster. That's basically pastels. It can be a little messy sometimes, but they are a lot of fun. And I think that, you know, if you go out and you get some pastels and you get some pastel matte, you'll be pleased at how responsive of a medium they are. They're just so much fun. I can't tell you how many people have gotten into using pastels because they saw me using them, and I get emails and messages often of people that were just like, you know, I'm so glad I started using pastels. They're so fun. They're so forgiving, and you know, I'm gonna just keep doing tutorials using pastels for as long as I can. The live pastel tutorials are something that I really enjoy doing, and I think it's a good market for my channel too. Because I feel like the more I do them, the more people are getting into the pastels, and just all around better. Do I have special paper for pastels? Yes. Pastel matte. Clairefontaine pastel matte. If you go to my website, I have a link for it in the description, but I have a page on my website that lists the supplies that I recommend and that I use. I have a couple different pieces, a couple different papers for pastels, and a couple different papers for colored pencils and whatnot. So yeah, you can get that information on my website. Because I can tell you what the paper is, but you know, it's just easier to see it. I have links to them as well if you wanted to buy them. Everybody loves pastel matte, but I am struggling with it. I found the Mitenta Touch paper much better. Oh, well, you know, paper, I always say that paper is a personal preference. So if you prefer the Mitenta Touch paper, yeah, the Mitenta Touch paper is good paper. There's nothing, I can assure you, Abigail, there's nothing wrong with liking the Mitenta Touch paper, even against the pastel matte. So it's all good. It's all good. I often say that you should experiment with different papers. You should try to find the paper that suits you the best. I never say that like the supplies that I use are the best. I always say it's the supplies that I recommend. I always say I recommend because there is no such thing as the best. Because it all comes down to personal preference. I mean, there's people that use I can't remember the name of the markers. I'm trying to remember the name. Fine color. I think it's fine color. Yeah, I bought some fine color markers several years back, and they were so bad. They were just so bad. I ranted in a video. I think it's the only video that I ranted in. Maybe a little bit. There might be another video that you guys can find that I rant in, but these markers were so bad, and I was so disappointed in them because I read a bunch of reviews. I thought that I was going to get a decent product, and they were just terrible. And I was like, how could anybody make a video on YouTube talking about how good the markers work? And when I got them and I used them, I was like, this is disgusting. Either people are just confused or they're lying for the sake of making money. So I ended up ranting about these markers for, I don't know, like 30 minutes or something like that. And it was actually one of my earliest popular videos because people like review videos. And I listed it as a review video, and yeah, it was a very negative review, and I got plenty of colorful comments from people that liked the markers. And I still can't get past how awful they were, but people swore by them, so everything's personal preference, I guess. Still baffled by those gosh darn markers though, for sure. They were so bad. They were so bad. I always got comments like, oh, my friend uses these markers and they love it, or something dumb. Are you coming over to say hello?
I can say hello. I can show you that.
Of course you can.
Of course I can.
My wife just bombarded into the bedroom. What are you even doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Watching things. Listening to things. I got to
Oh, goodness. Come say hi to everybody. They want to see you.
Oh, and then you knocking me out. Just knock me out. I want to stay and just knock me to leave. This is even proper. Sweetie. You can say hi.
Yeah, come say hi.
Just hear my soothing voice.
Say hi into the microphone.
Hello, people.
Why? I don't get why you're looking at the TV.
Because
you
I'm
can't
on chat.
You can't see anybody.
I can see them.
You won't be in frame if you just are here. See, look, they're all saying hello. Yeah, she's camera shy. She looks like a bum right now.
As always.
Oh, thank you, Misty.
Hello, lovely people. How are you?
She's creeping on the chat right now.
Oh yeah, you can keep doing your thing.
Alright, I will.
Sweetie, so you don't complain that I'm here disturbing you.
Well, you're not disturbing me if you're standing there, but when you're hanging on my shoulders and stuff when I'm trying to draw, that's.
And playing with your face and just.
Yeah.
I actually want to play with your hairs right now.
Well, you're not going to.
You won't like it though. What's happening here?
I'm coloring and.
No, this thing.
Oh, look, he's saying hello and donating 100 Argentine pesos.
That's very nice. And do we already know how to pronounce properly this name?
I was saying Beatty, but I asked him. Maybe I missed it. I said you have to tell me how to pronounce your name.
Please
I'm gonna Google it.
tell us.
I'm gonna Google how to pronounce it.
I don't like when my husband can't pronounce things properly. He doesn't care that much.
I do care.
You don't show it.
I don't know how to spell either.
Yeah, that's true.
Why does it say not? Why is it?
Change it to. It isn't. Oh, it's Bauter. Okay. In Polish it would be Bauter. Oh, they see my shadow, you see? Yeah,
Where?
you should give me some popcorn. Misty is right.
Where? Oh, they remember.
Yeah, they miss me.
Yeah, we're out of Batista. Oh, okay.
What?
Batista is his full name.
That's nice. Yeah, but you don't say Bautista? Or it's Spanish, right? It's Argentina. Bautista? Is it Bautista?
Isn't it funny how you can feel like you know people you've never met? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Anna and I didn't meet each other for first year and a half of our relationship. I mean, some of you have been on my channel coming to the live streams for like a year and a half or sometime, so.
Is that my shadow? Really? Can I see my shadow? Is that a real thing?
No, you're imagining something.
No, Brenda said that she can't see it.
Oh, it must be moving across the paper.
That's wrong. Don't creep on me, people. I can only creep on you.
Misty wants you to say hi.
Hello, Misty. Or hi, Misty. I said hello. You wanted hi.
It means the same thing.
I know what it means.
Sometimes I wonder. What are you doing in the kitchen?
I said to you.
I wasn't paying attention.
You weren't listening, people. You can write about what I was saying.
Yes, she does. She does have a beautiful voice, doesn't she? I always enjoyed listening to her read to me over Skype when we were still dating long distance.
Well, I was the first person to tell Will that he has very soothing voice, by the way, people.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. He didn't like his voice, and now he's pretending that he always liked it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, look! Stacy says hello. Thank you, Stacy, so much for the super chat.
It's very nice of you. Where do you have all this money, people?
I've only been to 3 live streams, and I feel like I know everyone here. I'm not sure if that's weird. Oh, not at all, Debbie. We're family. As soon as you subscribe, you're part of the family. So.
You see, I came and money is just flowing on you.
Yeah, I know. You need to come to the streams more often.
We'll have to eventually end, unfortunately.
Yeah, I need to eat.
Unfortunately.
Did you already eat all of your pierogi?
Oh,
No, I don't know what you do with yourself.
10 is waiting for me, I suppose.
You still got 10?
They didn't eat themselves yet.
How many do I have left?
15?
Yeah, you're darn right I have 15 left.
Well, I can
I
always
better have
eat
15 left
your
too.
5. If you can eat them. It's so fun to read what people say. I can think that I should read.
I'm glad you came across my channel from Inktober as well. And you'll be here next year for Inktober too, so you'll get to meet all the new people as well.
Can't you? Really?
You still can't say my name. Jelena. It's Jelena.
Jelena?
I think it's Jelena.
Isn't it Jelena? Jelena Cook?
Stacy loves pierogies.
She knows what's good.
Yeah. Anna's mom taught me how to make them, so I make them authentic.
Original Polish.
Yeah.
Or Polish. Is it Polish or Polish?
I honestly don't hear a difference.
Polish. Polish.
I just
Like
don't.
Polish.
I don't hear a difference.
Polish. Polish.
I still don't hear a difference.
Well, I never hear
You just
difference when
pretend.
say
You
things.
just pretend like you're saying something different.
Like squirrel.
Oh yeah.
Teeter-totter. Or teeter-totter.
Anna is saying all the weird words that I love for her to say.
Okay, what's happening here? What one must come and from the best years. Okay. Oh, Gina said yes, so that's right, I suppose. It was very... Oh my goodness, pronunciation. Was it?
I was searching for pencil tutorials and came across my channel, and it's now my fave. Very down to earth, unpretentious. Well, thank you very much, Misty. Yes, I do my best to stay as unpretentious as possible. Referring to the squirrel in the refrigerator, can't pronounce that. Say squirrel in the refrigerator.
Squirrel in the refrigerator? Oh, this is misspelled though. Refrigerator. We're talking about this one, right?
Yeah.
Squirrel in the refrigerator?
My favorite thing, when we were first starting to talk and everything like that, I'd make you say sentences, and it was like a bear. One of my favorite sentences is like a bear chased 3 bears chased 33 squirrels on a teeter-totter.
I knew that there was something like that. And I didn't remember what was with the birds. Is it birds? Is it birds?
Burrs.
What's wrong with my birds? What's happening here? Debbie wants you to call her mouse.
Yeah, Jelena, I had to practice your name a little bit before I could pronounce it.
But it's like, it looks like Jelena, sweetie. It has Jeter, and it's Eder, and Elder.
Well, no, I think I read it as Jelena. Wait, now I can only say it properly.
Gilina?
I don't even know.
Gilina talk.
I can only say it right now. I practiced it too much. I try my best to make sure that I'm pronouncing everybody's names correctly.
Sorry.
Richmond asked if we had kids.
Fortunately not.
That was a fortunate, not an unfortunate.
It was fortunate. I just started and misled people, I suppose.
No kids for us.
No kids. This is why he can sit here and
Do whatever I want.
do whatever he wants all days. Of course, otherwise he would be not able to and be super miserable.
How do I pronounce my last name? It is pronounced. Yeah, you go ahead and say it. How do you say our last
Which
name?
one?
Our last name, cuteness.
Our, like yours originally?
What do you mean? Yeah, you have the same last name as me, genius.
No, it was your original. Stoller?
Yeah.
Why are you asking me?
Because they asked and I wanted you to say it. It's Stoller. A lot of people say Stoller. It's not.
This is what I did with Polish. I said Polish. You didn't get it. Like Stoller.
I still don't get it.
Where is your hidden cider wine? Because you see.
I thought I liked that highlight on her ring, but I don't. I'm just gonna color that. I need Nuggets colors. I need Nuggets colors.
Kathleen Langell? Is it Kathleen Langell?
My last name, since you said you know how to pronounce our names. I didn't. Ooh. Kathleen. Is this what we're gonna do now? Langell? Kathleen Langell? That's how I would try to say it.
Langell. Yeah, wider. Is it a Y? It's Y, right?
It's a Y. Cuteness, take your stuff here for a second. I need markers.
This is cheating.
I need nugget
I
colors.
need the calligraphy too. I have no time. I'm creeping on top.
Do you have some of your calligraphy stuff here? Do you have some of it there?
It's here.
Not the stuff you use to write, but some of your work.
Yes, I have.
Well, give it to me. Let me show everybody.
You have to first have my permission, sweetie.
Well, I have your permission, which is why you're handing it to me.
I know.
Let's start with day one. So, Anna is actually participating in Inktober as well. She's learning how to do calligraphy, and this is her handwriting. This is her normal handwriting, and then this is the different styles of calligraphy that she's doing. That's day one. Day two. I really like this one. That one's super good. Are you gonna do, is that why you're getting your stuff here so you can do day 11?
Among other things, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't look like really closely and whatever at the words, it just looks like it's printed on paper. It's really good.
So we don't need a printer anymore.
Yeah, we don't need a printer.
I'm creeping on things. People write too much, so you're missing things. But I didn't get this whatever thing.
What thing?
Oh, it's not. Okay.
So
Where's the-
lane goal.
Where is the thing? You're moving it too fast, or it's moving?
It's moving by itself.
Like lane goal, lane.
I need nugget colors.
Lane goal.
304.
Yeah, I pronounce it just like I read in Polish. Lingo. But why it's wider? Why?
I don't know.
Question.
I was just remembering the way you did Fleur, her accent in the Harry Potter books that when we read them. I don't even know what kind of accent it is. You just make up some weird accent for Fleur.
It was perfect French accent. What are you talking about? You didn't find it French?
I didn't find it even remotely French at all. It sounded like...
He's so mean right now.
I don't even know what it sounded like. It just sounded like a made-up accent that doesn't exist anywhere in the world. Should grab a Harry Potter book and read it.
I'm totally offended.
That's what we should do. Yeah, I should just sit here and draw, and I don't have to talk or anything, and then you just read to the people. Just read to them.
It was perfect French. Made up accent, by the way, people don't trust me. Interesting. Thank you, people, for lovely words about my calligraphy nonsenses. Bautista, should start saving.
Thank you again so much, Batista. Really appreciate that. You have a lovely day at work. Don't work too hard.
Oh my goodness, people. Then where's this lame girl's last name from?
I don't know.
I'm asking our lovely member of this chat because she's saying that she still can't pronounce it that well. It's husband's last name. My goodness, you should prepare a situation for me so I can stand here and creep on it properly. I'm aching now.
What situation would I possibly prepare?
I'm leaving here like nonsense.
I'm not stopping you from leaving.
What you should.
You just want to creep on the chat.
Of course. But, you know, this is a part of my job.
You're part of the job is to creep on the chat?
Yeah, as your wife.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Hungary. Hungarian, right?
Yes.
Hungarish.
Hungarish?
Hungarish.
No.
No, Hungarian is quite difficult for me to even imagine how to pronounce them.
Oh, hello, Wendy.
Who's my name?
Artista.
Oh, I didn't see Artista.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I will have to stop crippling. That's so unfortunate.
Well, I'm just about done coloring anyway, so.
You need to keep doing. I have live in the kitchen.
Well, you're not gonna have a life real quick because I'm almost done with this live stream.
You should do next one. People love it.
Drawing a colorful frog. I'm not following the same prompts. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're having fun.
Okay, people, I'm going.
I don't know. Next year, I don't know if I'm gonna follow the official prompts. I don't think there's. I don't think there's any reason. Maybe what I'll do instead is I'll get the prompts. Like, we'll make our own prompts. We'll just do our own thing. Make our own prompts up. Yeah, unmasked family prompts. Nugget looks like he's rolling his eyes. Yeah. Yeah, Nugget, like I said, Nugget is not particularly amused with the situation. That's his lips.
He has lips, apparently.
Well, he has a mouth. He has a mouth, and he's making like
he looks like he's whistling.
He's making like a pouty face kind of thing. Oh, no need to apologize, Wendy. I'm glad you finished your giraffe. That's cool. I look forward to seeing it.
A tower of sophistication or something? What's the name of your thing? Is sophistication? Or tower of what?
Sophistication.
That's
what the name I gave it. Yeah.
Hey, you look surprised.
Well, I don't know why you're talking about it. Let's see. I need a shadow, cutie. I need a shadow.
I'm giving you shadow all the way.
This looks like
my shadow.
Oh no, this is the one that bleeds a lot. I gotta be careful with this color.
Yeah, be very careful. Oh my goodness, it's crusty little thing. Go away. Okay, I need to go, lovely people.
Alright.
Have a nice, whatever it is, part of your day. Oh my goodness, stop using it. You're gonna
this color is so good though.
You're gonna break your finger
color.
too. You already broke it.
I didn't break it, calm down.
13.
There we go. It just needed to, the nib just needed to be pushed in a little bit. Try it out with a paper towel. Alright, cuteness.
Bye, people. Make him sit here for like 2 more hours.
I'm literally done right now.
So I can finish things, god darn it.
You were hanging out for so long, I finished it. Nugget's all complete.
Well, erase it and do it again. People need this. You have my things.
Take your stuff. What is this nonsense? This isn't mine. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. My desk is a mess enough. I don't need your help making a mess.
Very clean anything. That's the real problem. You should stream about cleaning this house.
Yeah, that sounds real exciting.
People will love it.
All right. Yeah, I actually am done. I literally was not paying any attention to my coloring process whatsoever, and I got it done super fast. But it looks like, how long did I stream for? I streamed for about the exact time that I wanted to. I am feeling better, so thank you all so much for hanging out and making me feel better. I'm gonna make some tea, make some more pierogi, and watch some house, and that's going to be it. So thank you all so much for coming by, hanging out. Thank you for the super chat donations, by the way. I really appreciate that. Remember, if you want to share your Inktober pieces and you want them featured on the stream, join the Unmasked Art Facebook group. I have the link for that in the description. And for all of the new members of the Facebook group, just take the time to read the group description so you have an idea of what not to do in the group. I noticed that there was quite a bit of people just sharing pictures, and although you can share pictures, there's some specific things about the group, because I want it to be more about learning and not just sharing for the sake of sharing. Anyways, that's something else that, yeah, just forget that. And yeah, that's gonna be it. What is today? I don't even know what today. Today's Thursday. Okay, tomorrow's Friday, so we're heading into the weekend real soon. Hopefully you guys had a good week. It's been busy. It's gonna keep staying busy. I'm gonna be streaming a little bit earlier tomorrow. I think I have it scheduled, but I think it might be scheduled wrong. So I often get comments, questions after the stream regarding when the next stream is. So if you go over to my actual channel page, you'll see the list of streams scheduled out. I think I have them scheduled out all the way until this next Sunday. So you should be able to see the times based on your location. Anyways, that is going to be it for today. Thank you all so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Peace.